We are recording now. So we are live. If you guys missed any of this information, want to get it back, feel free to ask me, and I can send you the link as soon as we get that uploaded. Don't worry, I will turn it off when we get into our more just hanging out part. It's more so we have that information easily and accessible for our little info part. So today we're going to go over mostly what the virtual event looks like. Originally this was going to be a little bit more structured, that's why there's a formal agenda. I have a feeling you guys will keep us on track though. Mostly just going to be talking about fundraising ideas, recruitment ideas, introducing a fun challenge, keep the mystery alive with that one, and then also reviewing a few different ways that you can continue to stay connected with everyone. As a reminder, you got that chat feature. I did not realize I was going to say that earlier, so then I just picked it up. You know, it's fine. We're doing great. So as far as we have a few different virtual events leading up to Bike MS, and we want to make sure you guys know about all of those. That way you can really plan for kind of what you want this experience to be, especially with everything being so virtual. It really is a choose your own adventure moment. You can choose what you want this event to be for you. If you know that you want to be on every single call, hey, welcome to the club. I'll be there too. I'd love to see you. But if you know that there's just a few key calls that you want to be on, not a problem at all. I'm excited to have you on those too. One that's really exciting that we do have coming up is going to be Ask a Cycling Expert. For those of you guys who do know Damian March, he is going to be leading that. That is going to be the Friday before Memorial Day at 10 a.m. So Friday before Memorial Day, if you're wanting to learn some quick, easy bike care techniques, feel free to join. He's going to review just the simple concepts of tuning up your bike, bicycle safety, that sort of stuff. Especially if you have new members on your team, this is going to be a great event for them because it's going to teach the basics. It's not going to teach necessarily anything that's a major repair or anything of that sort, but the basics for keeping your bike in safe and good operating standards. Leading up to Bike, we are also going to have a few different other events. One is going to be a virtual packet pickup. We're still building out that event, so we'll get that information out to you as soon as we have it. We are also going to have, for those in the top fundraising Gold Spoke group, we are going to have a martinis and steak party. Should be super fun. We'd love to see you guys there. We will not be providing the steak or the martinis, but we will just enjoy everyone being together, and hopefully we can also highlight some of the awesome things that your guys' teams do. We know that all of you guys have unique things. If you couldn't tell by the name from that, we are highlighting two of our teams in that, both the Wheeler Dealers with their Friday night steaks, but then also the Cyclomaniacs who like to shake their martinis. I will not give you their full title of how they choose to do that. But they shake their martinis, and I know that all of your teams have those special things too, you know, the Crochelle burger, all that kind of stuff, and we want to make sure we highlight all of that. So please, please, please let us know if there's anything special you want us to highlight. We'd love to do that. As we look at what Virtual Bike MS is for that weekend, here is a beautiful, I'm pointing this way, you guys can't, this is just blank space for all I know for you, but we'll point this way. This is what we have for our virtual Bike MS event. So how this works is it really is, like I said, a choose your own adventure moment. You can choose to attend every single one. You can choose to just attend the one at the end. It's up to you. But the 5 events we're going to have throughout the day are going to be at 7 a.m. We will have an I Ride with MS picture. If you or anyone on your team rides and also lives with MS, we'd love to have you join in on this picture. It'll be at 7 a.m. You'll hop on a call like this. We'll take a quick picture, and then you can go about your day. At 9 a.m. nationally, we are going to have a live stream that is on Facebook. Feel free to join us on there. We'd love to see you. That one is not going to be necessarily your faces coming up. It is going to be more of a typing, commenting kind of thing. But we do share those to our Tour de France Facebook group every single Saturday. So feel free to pop on there. Katie is the Wizard of Oz behind those. So you can even say hi, Katie, and who knows, she might even see it. So be be sure to pop on those if you want to see what that looks like before it's our weekend for that. At noon, we will have a virtual lunch stop. There's no agenda with that one. It's literally just a check-in. I want to see how you guys are doing. How many miles have you ridden that day? Have you just done a quick loop around the block? Have you already done 50 miles? We want to know. We also want to see what's working for you guys being out there. Have you guys found this amazing snack that's really good at keeping you through the day? All that kind of stuff. We want to hear if it's sunny, if it's raining, everything. Let us know. So be sure to pop on that. At 3 p.m., though, we are going to have a fundraising power hour. And since we're having a happy hour, I feel like we can take away any veil of pretending it's not a drinking reference. It 100% is. But for our power hour, it is going to be the individual, not the team, the individual that raises the most money in that hour will get a Riverlands Brewing prize pack. So that's going to include a gift card for you to purchase any beverages you might enjoy. If you don't like nasty bread water like me, guys, their popcorn there is amazing. So you can get their popcorn too. But they'll also send in some merch with it too. So feel free to check that out. They partner with us a lot. They're absolutely amazing. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're in St. Charles. After all of that, for our final kind of wrapping up of the day with all of the awesome cycling you guys are going to be doing around town, we are going at 5 p.m. have a closing ceremony, which we will basically just be giving away any prizes that we have throughout the day and just saying thank you. But then after that, don't go anywhere because Smells Like Dave Grohl will be performing for us, which those of you guys who have been on site before in the afternoon, they are one of our big bands. Everyone asks about them. Guys, when I reached out to people and said, which band do you want at Bike this year? It was unanimous. Everyone said Smells Like Dave Grohl. If you have other people you want me to reach out to next year, I'd be happy to, but man, we heard a lot about these guys. So hopefully that fits your needs, but also I'm hoping to get a playlist together so you can just pick a different playlist. And I'm not offended if you go to Spotify because, guys, I'm not a DJ. I might not know your taste. So feel free to make your own playlist too and just hang out virtually with your team or in a socially distant way so that way you guys can all still be connected.
Can I back up for 2 seconds?
100%.
Alicia's on a great roll. Just saying that. So first of all, you guys, I think our main intention is to give you space to ride. That's the whole point of the weekend, right? It's like leading up, we're raising the funds, we're getting the community built, but we know you want to get out there and ride. So we don't want to fill the day with a bunch of things. So the intention of that virtual packet pickup, which we're aiming to do not the week of the ride, but the week prior, we'll basically lay this out for anybody that wants to call in. So it'll be very similar to this, like a GoToMeeting or Zoom, where we will kind of lay out what the weekend activities are, what we already have available, which is actually on the website now. We have the virtual bibs. They're available to download and customize. So anybody can go download it, customize it, print it out, wear it, fold it up, whatever you'd like to do, as well as the I Ride For bib. And the little stickers that you can kind of cut out and put on there as well. And then we also have a completion certificate. Don't go cheating and print it before you complete your ride though, because that's not fair. But for those that are in that top fundraising group in our Gold Spokes, we have customized bibs, just like normal, that we will email to you in advance. So that way you have your special yellow customized one as well. If you choose to go out and ride, you can wear that too. But then in terms of additional kind of content that we're providing, we really want to just lean into our teams, our team captains, our volunteers, and what they want to see. You know, like the best part about Bike MS is all of you. It's not us telling you what we think you want to see, right? So we're really leaning into all that good information that you guys have been sending us. We've been getting a lot of cool stories already. Alan, Alicia sent me your nice email that you sent out to people the other day. So already getting nice little tidbits. Emily, we saw your letter of different things that are happening. So we want to be able to highlight those. And to Alicia's point, we're in a unique situation where I'm the project manager for Virtual Bike MS nationally. So we can kind of weasel our way into some good situations over here and get a little bit more insider info. And the one other thing that Alicia did not mention, which is actually my very favorite part of our virtual experience, is her and Chloe, who some of you may know, who's our event production specialist, are going to be filming a cooking segment on how to make your own Crochelle burger. So y'all can do that from the comfort of your home, wherever you would like to do it. There'll be specific instructions so you can recreate your lunch that you would normally have on the route. It doesn't have to be that day, but we're just trying to kind of keep our community strong and moving, so that way when we're able to be together eventually someday, it's just back, we're picking up where we started as much as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, and to Katie's point, we really are trying to get as many virtual things out to you, so please forgive me in advance for any silly video content you see coming from Chloe and I. We do have 4 videos that are going to come out, and just be prepared to see Chloe in multiple wigs, is all I'm going to say. I'll give you that little teaser. She's going to have different wigs. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited for it. Guys, we might be on SNL in a few years. Who's to say? Who's to say? Also, just a few other things for you guys. As you are doing all of these awesome things, because we know, like Katie was saying, Ellen, Emily, we've already seen these amazing things you guys are doing. If there's anything that you want to share, first up, feel free to email it to Katie or I. We would love that. It takes away a step for us. But the other thing you can do is use hashtag virtualbikems or bikems. And between Katie, myself, as well as Curtis Spear, who works with our social media group, we will find it. We will find you and we will share it with everyone. So please, please, please use those hashtags or email it to Katie and I so we can make sure that we just compile that information, share what's working, what's great, what's going on. We really want to pass that along and make sure everyone knows about it. And then the usual stuff of find our Facebook group. It's great. People are in there. I usually am the one posting, and I don't like being the main one posting. So join me in my silliness and feel free to put a meme in there. I don't know. Live your best life. The other thing is feel free to like Bike a Mess and the Greater Illinois page for you to see that live stream. If you mark yourself as interested in the virtual Facebook invitation for Bike a Mess, you'll get an automated notification once we're live that day. So that's going to be your most helpful way of knowing when that has gone live. So, Katie, did I miss anything here yet? Okay, cool. Moving along. There is still more to come, guys. So as you know, we are rapidly pivoting this whole event. It has been a very interesting challenge, but I feel like we are ready to rise to the occasion. And with that, that means we're still going to have more content coming your way. So there is going to be a virtual jersey contest. There is going to be a virtual coloring contest. So if your kids have those amazing coloring skills that they want to flex on, I want to see it. I want to see all the cute coloring skills. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out for all of those stuff coming your way. We really want to make sure not only you are involved, but your companies are involved, that your families are able to be involved. Anyone who wants to be involved with Bike a Mess now, all previous restrictions are gone. We're here to really welcome everyone and bring them in as a part of the experience. So with that, talking about, we want to bring everyone in, we have a quick challenge for you guys. So between now and the end of the month, so May 31st, whichever team captain recruits the most team members will get an accent fluid trainer. Now, you can use that then to re-incentivize if you're like, I already have a trainer, I don't need another one. You can use that then to incentivize your team to do something else with their fundraising or with recruitment, whatever. But registration's free now. If you want to get your grandma registered, if you want to get your 2-year-old registered, anyone can join Bike a Mess now. It's really cool. And also those people, that live farther away, that you've always had that physical distance barrier and you can't have them on your team, now you can, because it's all virtual. It's, up to you on who you want to ask. But if you are sitting in the Chicagoland area and you have a friend in California and you've always wanted to do a ride together, now you can do a ride together. So it's a pretty cool opportunity. But we wanted to make sure you guys had a little extra incentive too to use that opportunity. So we have an accent fluid trainer. It is in a beautiful oceanic blue color. And guys, if that wasn't like if the trainer itself wasn't enough, that color, I'm sure it got you. Now you want it for sure. So then the last little bit of information before we just open it up for us to just chat and hang out is a few little things on staying connected. So we do have these virtual Bike MS socials. We're sending them out to you as soon as we have them, basically. So keep an eye out on our Facebook page for that, but also those team captain emails and those general registered participant emails. Those are chocked full of information. Read it to the bottom. We try to keep the more important information towards the top, but really read that whole thing through if you are able to, and encourage your team members to as well. On social media, there's a Team Captain Facebook group. That one is full of ideas that people are executing nationally. It's also a great place to network with other team captains because that's how we see people really getting to use the full benefits of their passport rider access. Is they're like, oh, well, now I have a friend at the PGA Tour. Now I can go there and know I have a buddy. So it's how you can really get full use out of your passport rider status if you do have that. Outside of that, we do have a Facebook group specifically for Tour de Farms. Be sure to join that. We are sharing all the same information, but it's a little bit more digestible going on there because it's in chunks, so it's harder to miss some information on there. Outside of that, Katie and I are here. We're available. Katie's doing a lot of stuff with the Facebook group, but I'm not. So I'm here. I'm happy to help with whatever you guys need. You can call me at this point. I'm sure you guys all basically have my cell phone number anyways, but my office phone is forwarded to my cell phone. You can even see a cute picture of my new nephew on there if you do it. It's great, guys. All the fun things. So feel free to reach out to us. But if you, for some reason, can't get a hold of us, fundraising support is available still. They are all still working, firing at full cylinders. They quickly adapted to all being remote, so they are all available. And there is now a virtual toolkit on bikems.org. So if you go to bikems.org and go on the fundraising tab, you're actually going to get a whole page of fundraising ideas. So if someone's ever thinking like, oh, I really want to amp up my fundraising, I don't know how. If you scroll through that page, you are going to find so many things that you didn't even think of. They have like virtual garage sales. They have virtual like dinner parties where you donate what you would have spent on dinner and then they just do like dinner and a show kind of thing. Virtual game nights, everything. So be sure to check out that, see if there's anything that might speak to you and would match up with what your donors might be interested in. Outside of that, if you have questions about the Society's response to COVID-19, there's also a page for that. As soon as you open up bikems.org or the National MS Society's website, it'll be right at the top. It will be a pop-up. Feel free to click on it. You're going to get all the most up-to-date information on it. We have a whole team that's dedicated to our COVID-19 response, so they are there. They are happy to answer questions. There's an email that you can send those to. Incredibly knowledgeable people. Even if you think they might not have an answer, they probably have an answer. They've really been studying up on it. Unless there isn't an answer yet, which is also a world we live in. There's also going to be the Ask an Expert series. That's on Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to pop on there. It's great because it's interactive. You can ask any questions you have about MS and COVID is where it's very, kind of focused, but it's also just MS in general. You can just ask questions you might have. So very interactive and virtual. So great opportunity there. And I think that's all the information. Yeah, that's all the information I have. So what questions do you guys have? If you want to say hi to each other, feel free to say hi to each other. It's just kind of open up now. I got my information out, so I want to hear from you guys now. I don't need to ramble anymore.
I had a team team call the other day, and somebody suggested for those that are on who have trainers and whatever to maybe do like a racing section for those who might be on their trainer or a time to do a time trial or whatever, but something like that. Are you guys thinking about doing anything like that?
Katie, I'll let you take that one.
I love that. So right now, the main focus is just letting people ride how they want. So if that's we can definitely say like Tour de Friends is having this like specific ride on their trainers at this time. If you want to join them, you can join. You know, like we can highlight what everybody is doing in different ways. Like we know, I mean, I've been talking to like Chad, we talked to Joe Syak yesterday too, and they're planning just going out and riding in St. Charles anyway. But not that same distance of, I think he said like 40 miles, right, Alicia? Something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna do one day where they do 40 miles, and then I think I can't remember the mileage of the second day, but yeah, they're gonna do 2 day, one near Joe's house, one near Chad's house.
So we have different teams just doing different things kind of on their own. And then also we have the offer out there for teams that do want to socially distance ride out in the world. If they're having trouble coming up with routes of their own, we have our friends like Todd Underwood or like other committee members that are willing to put together routes, or Chloe on our event production team. But yeah, I think we're not, so as of right now, we're not doing anything officially like that. That's for the entire event. But I think that it would be really great to be able to share those kinds of things, especially if you think that you would want to bring other people along. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Move forward. So right now we keep getting told 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. That's our joke internally. I'm on the core team for Virtual Bike MS. There's 7 of us from the organization that are working with Accenture. And that work is starting the day after Memorial Day. Where we're basically reimagining all of the virtual Bike MS stuff moving forward into, and you're hearing it here first, so don't tell anybody. It's basically stringing together Facebook, Peloton, Zwift, all of those types of platforms into one for us. And so that's the project that I'm going to be working on as a national thing, which will probably not be rolled out by the time of our ride, but it will be probably later this year. So that's coming.
So what does that look? I'm not understanding it completely. What does that look like?
Yeah, so it's basically giving an opportunity for anybody to ride anywhere at any time. So let's say you want to be a Tour de Farms rider because that's the ride you've always done, but maybe you're not available that weekend one year, or maybe you want to ride physically in Tour de Farms, but you'd love to see and experience the Waves to Wine event, but you're never going to get out there, right? So this gives you the opportunity. We can plug those routes into Zwift or Peloton, and you can ride that. And then incentivizing that the same way we do with fundraising incentives, right? So like figuring out, is it mileage based? So like what you're saying with, if you have a trainer, do we encourage people by like watts or miles or whatever you're riding to request donations that way? I have a friend that he calls himself an amateur cyclist, but since we've been staying at home, he's ridden 600 miles, and he's like, I could have raised money for that. I was like, correct, you should have. So kind of ways to make it a year-long experience for people. And I know maybe like this would be good for the Kyles of the world that are in corporate teams, but there's a lot of people that have trouble getting corporate teams or even friends and family out to St. Charles. So if it's a younger group, if it's people based in the city or people based farther in the suburbs and they just can't get out there, this way they can still be a part of your community and your Tour de Farms family, but ride wherever they want. So that's kind
Got it. Thank you.
And this is kind of like the prequel. We were sort of, it's like the silver lining to the current situation, right? Is like we've been able to adapt very quickly and try to keep ourselves connected as many ways as possible without it being too much. Like we know, I mean, I would guess y'all feel the same way that I do, that the moment I'm done at work, I do not want to sit on another video call. I don't. I love my friends. I want to see their faces so bad, but I can't stare at a computer anymore. So we assume that you guys are feeling something similar by now too. So giving you the space to do what you want to do and just share it with us so we can stay connected, and we can give opportunities like this periodically to look at each other and be able to share together and connect, knowing that the community will still be there when we're allowed to be in person, right? That's the goal.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
I'm glad that Joe Syak jumped on because he probably, there he is.
Hi, Joe.
He got some of my spiel yesterday. Is there any other questions?
Hopes or dreams?
Hopes or dreams?
Oh, Joe, you're on mute.
It's good news that you get that combined platform, so to speak, because we've been talking about the same thing with our corporate team that's different cities at different points in the year. And the team in Texas, I don't know, it's in the Dallas area or Austin, they've got an event. And they had to sort of ream something off to their own with Zwift, just the regular Zwift meetup with team members. And but it's good to have platforms because I know the group that I ride with normally, they're all on different, and we're just riding all separately or together if we're in that same one, if you all wake up at the same time. But
Yeah.
I think it's nice, the camaraderie, even for that short period of time. So that'll help.
I think so. And we have that Strava club now, but we also know people also have their own Strava groups for their team or for their friends or whatever that looks like. So people are more than welcome to join it, of course, but we don't want to disrupt what you already have going on either. So we're hoping that that elevated platform that's coming out at least 9 weeks from now, because that's how long my team is working on it, that will be, oh, bye, Nancy, that will be something that just moves forward forever, right? Like as long as we need it. So this virtual stuff is not going anywhere. It's just going to get better.
We get better, exactly. Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else having challenges or anything, or questions about what the society's doing, or ways to recruit, or ways to fundraise, or things like that?
Katie, if we transfer to, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just being a smart ass. Go ahead. Sorry. I know
but Joe, we love hearing your smart ass comments. Come on.
you're shocked. I know you're shocked to hear that, Emily.
Ah, shocking. Go, Kyle. Kyle, I think you went.
If we transfer to, or any of the riders transfer to the Indiana ride, would they still be able to participate on the? No, I'm freezing. All right, maybe it's just a connection issue.
Yeah. Kyle, do you want to pop it in the chat box?
I might be able to answer your question by guessing. So I'm going to guess that you're going to ask if people want to transfer to Indiana and physically ride there, can they still participate in the virtual experience? And yes, that is correct. So if you are registered for Tour de Farms, you are a Tour de Farms rider, and if you decide you want to transfer to an event later in the year, like the Indiana ride, Cruising the Crossroads, you would stay a Tour de Farms rider. All your fundraising would stay there. So that way the incentives, everything that you would earn would stay Tour de Farms. But we would just know on the back end that you're physically going to ride in Indiana. And so for all of y'all that don't know, that's
okay, perfect.
Outside of Lebanon, or outside of Indianapolis and Lebanon. And we've actually had, for those that don't know, we did have some changes at the society because of the state of the universe, right? And we've had some staffing changes as well. So Alicia is actually managing Indiana now as well. So she will become an expert, just like I have over the years on all of the rides. But so she'll be your go-to for questions on Indiana as well. She and I will help you.
Yeah, it's kind of cool when they get a notification when one of you guys transfers. It's like, hey, Alicia, we just wanted to let you know that this person transferred. And I'm like, thank you. I sent you that request, but thank you. It's good to know.
Well, and there are other rides you can do, right? So I don't know if y'all know Dick Cone. He's a long time. And Robin, his wife, they're planning on riding at the PGA Tour in Florida in October. So, or hoping to. So you can transfer to rides that aren't in Indiana. That's just what we suggest is the easiest one.
And I pulled up just really quick, just for reference for you guys, where it is. So, is my screen showing for you guys right now? Okay, cool. So right
Yeah.
here is Lebanon, and then here's Indianapolis, just as a reference for you guys as to where it is. That's all.
Yeah, it's like 3-4 hours from here. I know some of you have done it before, or maybe not, but some people have done it before on the team. So, yeah. Anybody else?
Jody, you got the comment now?
My only comment was, how can you help me find more time in the week to ride my bike?
How can we find more time anywhere for anything?
I was supposed to be warm later this week, so that'll be nice.
Isn't it warm now?
It is, but it's end of the day and I have in-laws coming over, so I won't be getting on the bike anytime soon.
Yeah, that was it. Katie, Kyle asked in the chat box, he said, would the fundraising time frame then be extended through the ride in October, which we can answer that. It's 90 days out from Tour de Farms is when that fundraising deadline is. Technically,
Okay.
As far as our fiscal year
Awesome.
goes, when we get into October, it's in the next year. So we're not able to count it as cleanly. So yeah, it's 90 days after Tour de Farms would have been. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and two, like if you get to a point where you feel, and that stands for anybody. So every single Tour de Farms rider, right now there's free registration. Unless you're planning on transferring, there's no fundraising minimum. And then I lost my train of thought because our vice president is calling me right now. So I'm going to jump and answer and then I'll get back on. But
yeah, what Katie was saying, there's no fundraising minimum as long as you're not transferring. If you do transfer, there is still that fundraising minimum. So just a good thing to keep in mind. And also something that does get reinstated is if you do transfer, you no longer, that age restriction comes back into play. So right now, if you're doing a virtual ride, there's no age restriction. So for example, my 12-year-old little sister is going to be riding with my dad that weekend because she usually couldn't do Bike MS, but this year she can since it's virtual. If she chose to ride transfer, well, sorry, Abby, you are still 12. You are too young to participate in an in-person event. So just something to think about if you guys are having some of those younger kiddos join you as well.
I thought 12 was the cutoff. What is the cutoff?
Ooh, it might be 12. She doesn't turn 12 until May 16th, tomorrow. Whoa, that's crazy. Let me check the actual age cutoff.
Ours was at least 16.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 16 or, I don't know. I will show your daughter a clip in it.
It definitely wasn't 12.
Are you sure? Because
I thought it was 13.
Let me
But
look.
for the main ride, not for the kids ride, for the main ride, it was not that young. It used to be, but not.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it used to be pretty young because my former business partner Stan brought his daughter one time in a trailer bike, and she was like 10 maybe. So that was
Well,
back
I think, yeah, but I think some of those, like the 10-year-olds, I think that was kind of like, well, that's pretty close to 12 or 13 or whatever the number was, and we kind of looked at it that way.
they rounded up.
So
Yeah.
it's loading.
So that's, I can't remember if it was that kind of math that we did when we had some young girls driving on it.
I just wanted to say hello to Captain Dave Resnick. I haven't seen Dave in a while. I need to salute.
I hear you, Joe. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
You're looking good.
You're very kind.
Hi, everybody else too.
I'm one of the ones not complaining about no salons and barbers open.
you're lucky. My hair looks like this.
Some of us need hats.
That's right.
Good idea.
Hey, Katie, silly question
Yeah.
for you. what is the minimum age to be at Bike MS? I should know this as the Bike MS manager, but all I'm finding on our website is we can't give them alcohol and they need to watch the safety video. And that's not helpful.
To physically ride at an in-person event, they have to be 12.
Ah. And they have to have their weight signed, right?
Yeah, and there's like a special waiver, and then yeah, they watch a safety video and have to have some sort of parent or guardian present.
Yeah.
I sit corrected.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
Well,
I
I know it used to be much younger, but I could have sworn over the last few years that we were like, it had to be like 16 or 17 or something, but.
I think
I think that's
like,
volunteer.
What's that?
I think that's
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's interesting though.
I'm pretty sure
anything works.
I'm second guessing now, so we can revisit that. But right now, for this year, everyone can ride.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
dog can ride. My cats could ride.
That I want to see.
I might register
Yeah.
them.
Put that on Facebook.
Wait, did you guys know that Alicia and I are registered? And I should look it up. I haven't looked today. But in 4 days, I raised
Better.
$1,250 just by
You rock, girl.
posting.
Good work.
Kate,
So y'all better get moving if you haven't started.
watch out, guys. Right now, Katie's technically a gold spoke.
For now.
For now.
Well, at this point, I'm like number 2 or 3 because I'm at like 4,000.
I'm gonna look right now.
You've been having a lot of movement lately, Emily.
Well, actually, I think I just lied just now. I think it's
You're
more
number
like 3,000.
You're number 5.
Number 5.
Alan's
Woo!
number 2.
All right, all I want to know is, am I
Yeah.
still ahead of
Good
Resnick?
job, Alan.
David Resnick's not even in the top 10, so.
Whoa.
Come on, David.
I just sent out my email like 5 minutes ago. So
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
I better send that another one.
officially playing now.
He's in the game.
I'm in the game.
Now I feel like I need to give you guys like a weekly update of like where are we at in the rankings. I feel like it's starting to
Can we
get
go daily?
now.
Every hour.
We can have our daily.
We could
heckling
use
match.
a Shane
I'm sorry,
slide
guys,
for the
but
next
I think-
presentation.
well, then I guess I'm going to be shamed because I'm not planning on raising any more money.
Emily,
Sorry. Unless people start just sending in money for me, I'm not asking anymore.
Well, you don't have to ask.
I don't
so
feel
I'm gonna-
comfortable.
I just put it on Facebook. And then every time somebody donated, I commented and thanked them and like linked it to their name and said, thank you so much. And then I would repost it later in the day when I hit a new level and thank those people. And then I just repost it. So I never actually asked.
that's true.
I just put it out there.
Yeah, I think an important thing, because Emily, you bring a good point that it is uncomfortable making that ask right now. And something that we keep kind of hitting a little bit is that we can't make those decisions for other people. So I know you've been making that ask, so this doesn't quite apply to you, but for people that are having trouble making that ask, I feel like that's the biggest thing we need to remember is that, you know, we can just put it out there and let people make the choice for themselves. We don't need to pressure people into donating to us unless that's your style. And if it is, I love that for your journey. But if your style is more like, I just want to put it out there, if people say, yes, I love that, and I'm going to thank them. But if they're not, like, if they're not in that position to do that right now, then I can respect that and be okay with that and let them make that choice for themselves too. So I think that brings up a really good point of just like where we're at right now is that question can be uncomfortable. I know, Ellen, you put that in your letter that it was like an uncomfortable ask. You felt the urgency to make that ask, but it's uncomfortable, and that's okay.
Definitely.
Well,
weird time
usually
to,
I don't have a problem asking.
True.
Usually I don't have that problem asking for money, but This year it got quite a bit different. So I wasn't comfortable with it at all.
Absolutely. It's all very different right now. That's for sure.
Well, you still shared your story, and clearly it worked, right?
Yeah.
It clearly got you somewhere. So, but yeah, I mean, that's the same as Alicia. I had somebody donate to me. So like I said, I didn't necessarily ask. There were some people that I told, like, hey, I'm putting this up. If you want to donate, by all means, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And they all know that I don't ride a bike, just like y'all know. I'm terrible on two wheels, although now I have to because I said if I reached my goal, I was going to. So watch out, world. But one of the people that donated to me, I was shocked about. So she's an old coworker of mine when I used to work at the Avon Walk. And she is like in her like late 50s, early 60s, and she was laid off almost immediately. She was exposed to someone that had been tested positive and had to go on a quarantine very early on before people were even laying people off, and they just got rid of her immediately. Like, well, you can't come back. So she was laid off right away. She supports financially her mom, who lives in a home. She has Alzheimer's, her adult daughter, and her adult daughter's 2 children. And I would never send that to her, right? Just as expecting, like, I would never ask her for a donation. And she gave me $20. I was like, I'm shocked. But like, thank you so much. That's incredible. She's like, I would do anything to support you. So it didn't matter to her. Like, she just wanted to be there to support. And I just put it out there, right? And I'm not saying that everybody is going to do that or everybody has to do that, but they just want to support you for the most part. And if they know it means a lot to you, especially people that have that strong connection, a lot of times you'll be surprised by who's willing to give. So that's my story. But I was excited about that. And I told Alicia, like the head trainer at my gym, he got laid off because they closed my gym. And I paid him for like online personal training, and I paid him and he sent it back to me and had me put it as a donation. So like you can't I didn't ask him to do that, you know, like you can't expect people to say no if you never just like put it out there. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Joe, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. Could you tell everyone about your idea for the small business group? I feel like I'm really excited, and I want to feel like I want to get an update of where you're at with that.
So I have more notes that I took on it yesterday as I was talking to my buddy Derek. But what I was chatting with Alicia and Katie, I don't know, whenever that was. I think it was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning. Days are weird right now.
It seems like a week ago, but the thought was, since we're trying, you know, a lot of the businesses impacted our smaller businesses. I think the ones that are feeling the brunt of this, smaller businesses, as well as in the communities that we ride in. The thought was to create it could be a Facebook page, it could be a website. I have some thoughts on that, but basically call it the Businesses of Bike MS. And for participants or volunteers or businesses in the communities, give them a place to, hey, this is what we do. Hey, I'm Dave Resnick, and this is my business. Hey, I'm Alan Jaffe. This is my business. And then we break it by vertical and just share it. That's a place where if other Bike MS participants or people that are friends of Bike MS or whatever want to support a local small business, then this is kind of a place to do it. It's not a paid thing. It's entirely free. I don't make any money on it. They don't make it. This is just strictly awareness, and with the support of the local chapter, can get that. It's a hub, and then the local chapter can communicate that out. And I would do the work. This is not on Katie or Alicia. I'll put it together in whatever form. That was one thing Katie very diplomatically asked me, which I give her a lot of kudos for, because that was never the intent. The intent was never to punt that to them, but she did very diplomatically make sure that wasn't the case. And I respect that. But anyway, so that was the idea that I came up with like 10 minutes before our call yesterday. And sorry. Anyway, I do have other notes on that, Alicia, that I was chatting with Derek about that yesterday, and I don't see any reason not to do it, but I'm open to thoughts. If you guys think it's the dumbest thing ever, if you think it's interesting, I'm not offended. It's just kind of a harebrained thing that popped into my head.
A harebrained thing on you?
I think it's a great idea, Joe. I want to see, why are you using that little piece of paper when you got that nice whiteboard behind you? I want to see what's on there.
Exactly.
I wasn't in the office when I did that. I was in the parking lot of a Starbucks chatting with my buddy Derek. So
I mean, you're an idea man. I want to see. I think you're going to say like the special ideas are on the whiteboard. We don't get to see those.
Yeah, I have to blur that when I have calls, so you guys can't see my patented ideas.
That's right. No, but I mean, in seriousness, I do love the idea. I mean, we've talked for so many years about building a community here, and you know, we have to some degree, but we haven't grown it maybe to the extent that we all, you know, would like to do. And it's not just a community of you know, the 4 or 5 of us captains here on this call, or even, you know, to the next layer, to the 20 or 30 kind of large friends and family or corporate captains. It's what we're trying to do is expand that beyond just individuals to corporations, as you say, to businesses, to other networks that draw us together. And I think that's a really simple way to do it. And now is the time. Now is, I think, a really an ideal time to do that, because there are people and small businesses in need, and I think there's a community of individuals who want to reach out and maybe don't know how. That's a good way to kind of create that conduit.
Any other feedback? I'm not offended, by the way, good, bad, or otherwise. If you think it's bad, that's fine. If you think it's good, honestly, I'm good either way.
Good idea, Joe. I can't believe you came up with it.
All right, I'll be blocking you, Emily. No problem.
I like it.
All right. Well, I'll.
Oh, I do too. I'm just kidding.
Alicia, I'll share some notes. I'll share my notes with you. I'll have time this weekend to transcribe that garbage into something meaningful. I'll send it your way.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. As you know, we're doing the basically bi-weekly updates, so we can definitely put it in there, even if it's ready by then too.
I'll get my people on it.
Woo! I love that.
Whoever that is, whoever the people are.
I say that too, and then I realize it's just my dogs in the background, and it's like, oh, I don't think they're going to be much help with this unless there's like bubbles or treats involved.
I like bubbles and treats too. I'll help.
I don't have a problem with that.
I guess it depends on the type of bubbles.
I can do bubbles. It's
you asked for it, Katie.
That's not the kind of bubbles I want, Alicia.
We can have different types of bubbles too. We'll get the googs out. For those of you guys who don't know, Katie and I's favorite bottle of wine to drink together is Guggenheim. It meets the perfect amount of classy and not stupid expensive. It's a beautiful combination.
It's a $12 bottle of bubbly rosé, basically. But I can when Alicia and I were previously on the walk team and I was departing them to join the bike team, I took her and our former walk colleague Caroline out for, we called it Sharks and Champs, but charcuterie and wine flights, and I introduced her to that. So yes, now you know that's how she bribes me every time it's like Bosses Week or she wants me to do something nice. There's like a bottle of $12 wine on my desk. I was like, I'll take that.
It's a win. Anytime I have bad news, just wine.
Alicia's never had a bad news. And not because of that. Are there any other things that you guys feel like you're missing, or has this been helpful? obviously we'll have more information as we have it.
Can you guys send that schedule out that you show that slide?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do, you'll probably get it Monday or Tuesday. I'm gonna do a follow-up email that has all of this information in it. So we're gonna highlight the virtual stuff, also the perks of us having really no registration fees or those barriers anymore. So you'll see a quick little update coming early next week with that. You're also gonna probably get a call from us bugging you to get going on the new challenge that we announced today with the trainer. So yeah, we'll get it all to you. Any other
Cool, thank you.
hopes or dreams?
It's Friday.
That you can smash? I'm just kidding.
Oh, thanks, Debbie Downer.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
It's a fiery Friday. Would it
We
be?
know I'm not like this.
Emily's preaching the truth.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah, somebody's got to say it, right?
Apparently, I haven't had my wine yet today, so I need to get some.
Yes, you should.
Benny's, they've got Googs. You're good. They'll get you covered.
Everything's on Instacart too.
Ooh.
It's been a savior.
Nice.
All right. Well, if you guys need anything else, oh, Bob, are you saying something or saying goodbye? Just goodbye. All right.
Bye, Bob.
Nice.
Bye, Bob.
Well, with,
All right.
I think we'll probably get you guys going on to your weekend. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We really appreciate it. If you guys do have any questions, like I know I keep saying how accessible we are, but we are seriously so here for anything you need. So feel free to reach out. But thanks for taking the time and have a great weekend.
Thank you both for your hard work.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah.
Great.
Guys.
Yeah. Ciao, guys.
See ya.
So,
Bye-bye.
Thanks a ton. Bye-bye.
Oh, for God's sake.